I need my hands. It's like go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Came for my wins. I need my hands. This life is real. Don't play pretend. Came off the bench. I get it in. I get it in. I get it in. Came for my wins. I need my hands. This life is real. Can't play pretend. Came off the bench. I get it in. I get it in. I get it in. I'm on my job, I get it done, but you should know that. Shine like a sun, a 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, 10 toes, never fold, bang roll, on the go, ice wall, ice wall, ice wall. Came for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. I miss my baby, so I hit them on the FaceTime. I need it all for them, so no, I cannot waste time. Facing these oceans, feel the water on my waistline. We trust the process and my only know it take time. You can get it, got no worries, I'm gon' make mine. Going global, I'ma get it out the state lines. Paying taxes at a more than what you make now. Different bracket, eating off a different plate now. For my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in.
Long live Ad.
Yeah,
How you saw?
these are my memoirs.
Good morning, guys. Morning. How are we doing? Let's get it. Why is the lighting not working? Come on. Brighten up. That should start working soon. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Looks all good. Everything looks good. And yeah, just let a few more people come in. And we'll start with the analysis. We will start with the analysis. First thing we gotta do as always, we need to check the news here, see what we have. See what we have going on. Let's see, pop out chat. Let's bring out the chat here. Okay. Set that up. Bring this back. Sweet. So today is Wednesday, guys. Wednesday, we have no notable news here. We have FOMC minutes way till tonight. It's the G20 meetings. They can cause some problems, the G20 meetings, right? So be very, very careful with these G20 meetings. This is day one, so there could be some random statements that come out, and we have to be very, very careful here, right? So when these G20 meetings come out, you don't know when they will announce a random statement or something like that that might shake the market. So I recommend, if you're going to take positions, I would probably recommend that you just look to hit your target and be done. Don't try to be a hero today. But you know, it's pretty typical that we'd probably see a massive move, even though we don't see, you know, even though I tell you here to probably close your positions early. But just be careful, right? There's no point of losing a trade based on news, right? And if it slips your stops, we're in deep trouble, right? We're in very deep trouble, especially if you're using proper risk here. So let's go have a look at the analysis, because yesterday we did get the breakout here. So we'll start on the daily time frame here. As always, remove drawings here like this, and we'll look at this daily breakout we've had. So we've finally broken out this zone. Now we're tapping into this resistance here, which is a rejection wick we've had. Also a previous resistance here, but that's not too relevant because we've tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and it hasn't been relevant. This time it wasn't relevant. That time it wasn't relevant on this time, and it wasn't relevant here. But these wicks here seem to be relevant, because you have to understand that this was a news move right here on the way down. So this was a move from news that obviously caused some, like, you know, push through all of the zones. News doesn't really care about the zones, so we push through news here. I mean, we push through the zones here with news. So we have to look at the levels behind, and we have these wicks here. So daily broken out. 4-hour time frame has found a resistance, basically the same zone where I showed you. You can see how that's lining up, right? And if I put on my drawings, I do have that marked out there like that. And you can see now we have a 4-hour potential support, but we are closing 2 4-hour candles bearish. So we found a resistance here, and essentially we're ranging. I had hoped that we would have seen a deeper pullback overnight, and we would have pulled back deeper into these zones to get potential buys towards the upside, just to grab some more liquidity to give us more of a move here. But unfortunately we did not pull back here, and yeah, you can see that we're basically ranging at the top of the range here. So nothing really much happening at the moment here. On the 1-hour time frame, we can see we've created this range. We're trying to break this 4-hour resistance is still not confirmed. It was an old 4-hour resistance, so I don't know if we're going to respect it or not. If we're looking at 15-minute time frame, yes, we do have something here. 30-minute time frame we do have. So yeah, this is going to be basically just a 30-minute. We can mark this as our 30-minute zone here, right? So this is our 30-minute zone. Closures below here, counter trend sells possible, but I rather wait for sells below here if anything, and that is going to be counter trend, right? But based on that daily breakout, there's no reason to be looking for sells right now. Buys is what makes sense, and buys above this zone is what makes sense at the moment, which you can see these rejections here. So if this happens early in the morning where we see buys above this zone very, very early, I'm not going to be the first person to buy the breakout because of a potential fake out. You can see something happened similar yesterday. We have that breakout early in the morning in the zone. We break out of the zone. We pull back, and the second pullback is the shot to continue. Yesterday I was saying how I wanted to see this zone respected. I wanted to see price respect the zone. We didn't do any respecting. We completely slapped the zone, came straight back into the zone, and then ended up finding later on some support, and then started to break out of the zone finally, right? And then we basically hit the target here, which was the daily resistance. After hitting the daily resistance, we get a fat pullback, liquidity grab, and then news comes and gives a ripping move towards the upside and doesn't stop, and we basically end ourselves up almost at 164 here. So that's the story of today. That's the story of what happened. In 1 minute here, we have this 15-minute candle closing here. It's not the 30-minute candle, it's just the 15-minute candle here. I mean, there is a potential to trade back to the top of the range, but I don't really want to do that at the moment, to be honest. But there is the possibility. So let's have a look at gold here. Gold is still in a range. I had an alert down here in case we got a breakout for continuation. That's not relevant anymore. We broke up yesterday. This key 4-hour support kept you safe, because if you were looking for sells below, let's see if I can fix this light, because My camera seems to make this really dark here. Like this is super bright now. Like if this doesn't make thing, like this is like brighter than the sun for me here. Yeah, that looks bright for you guys, right? A little bit darker, because that's too bright for me. Something like that. Yeah, that should look a lot better. And I can handle that. Basically handle that. It's a bit bright, but anyways. Yeah, it's a bit bright. Giving me a headache. Yeah, that should be good. There we go. So yeah, with gold here, let's have a look at daily on gold. Let's bring back everything back to this. So gold, daily time frame here on gold has closed bearish below the range, but in these rejection wicks. So I want you guys to pay attention to these rejection wicks. Very, very important. Doesn't just mean we can sell. You know, you probably need a break below the lows. 4 hour is creating a support here. So gold is becoming messy again. And yeah, we closed above this resistance here. Yeah, it's very, very messy here. I think we have this week, we have on Friday CPI here. So gold, I think, is chopping before CPI probably. And yeah, it's probably doing that, which is why we're seeing the range. Apart from that, on gold today, it's really a bit messy for me here. I'm not touching gold. I don't like how it looks. I can give you my analysis on it. I think intraday, we're looking here. I think probably you could... It's very tough, actually. I mean, based on the breaking this 4 hour wick, let's see where this is. Yeah, you could try buy above this zone here. 118.37 to take buys. I won't be selling into this zone. Sells into the zone is tough. Maybe you could sell below 18.34, but really not bad. Tomorrow is Japanese bank holiday. So tomorrow will be Japanese bank holiday, but that's okay because we trade London session and we trade the Gbpjpy bank. So Japanese bank holiday is not too much of an issue. And normally we see sometimes a lot of volume, right? We see a lot of volume in Japanese bank holidays. So getting back here to GJ, the 15-minute has closed bullish, but below this minus resistance here. So even if there was a possibility to take a trade, we would need a close above here, which it hasn't done, to be able to trade in the range. So that's a no trade for me. And yeah, I'm not looking. It's a bit early anyways. It's bright here in the morning. So yeah, I would prefer to see a deeper liquidity grab. What I would prefer to see is, if you guys know, who knows, I would love to see a Bobby from here. Bobby would be ideal. And, you know, we basically come here, everyone tries to get involved, and so we reject, we close back in the range, and then we can take trades. This would excite me a lot, especially buying from here. I always hate buying the highs, so if I could get a pullback to buy up, I'll be very, very happy. But I want volume to come in the markets. We have to understand we had a very heavy push yesterday. So we need some sort of liquidity grab here like this. You see this grabs liquidity. We pull back, basically. That's all a liquidity grab is it's a pullback to give us an upside push. When we're ranging here, we don't get those upside pushes, right? So I need to see something in order to give me an upside push here. And we have to be careful of this 4 hour resistance here. And then basically after we pass that 4 hour resistance, we have a big range to trade. So the range is very, very big here on GJ. And pullbacks to continue is also very, very big. So this breakout has actually given us a lot of opportunity here. A lot of opportunity. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. I think finally, hopefully we should be able to see some bigger moves now that we've had this breakout. And if you look at the weekly time frame here, we have quite some room. You know, we have to 164.300, which I think can be tapped potentially today if we start continuing up. And then next target is going to be all the way up here at 167. We have 165. So yeah, definitely a lot of opportunity here. Daily time frame as well. You can see how clean we have to 164.300 again, which I should probably mark out. Yeah, I have this 30 here. Let me see this. Let me mark out this 164.300. We put it weekly base. I'll put it WB. WB for weekly base. Based on this weekly here, you see that base here. So that's what I'll keep it as. So now we have some targets to upside. This 30-minute, I don't know where I drew it from. Let's have a look. Yeah, I drew it all the way back from here. I don't know if it's going to be relevant, but this wick we'll just keep in mind. I'll just leave it on, but it's not going to be, it's just a watch zone. Nothing really too important with that. So, yeah, we should see. Is Bobby your own term? I never heard it before. Yes, Bobby is my own term. Yes, it is. It's first invented. I came up with the idea, and then someone in the group is like, came up with some abbreviation for it, and then it developed into Bobby. So now we have it called Bobby. So who knows Bobby? The real OGs will know Bobby, and Bobby is it's a good setup, my friend. It's a good setup. Considering the big rip yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if today was just sideways consolidation. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a possibility here, sideways consolidation. But we will see. We have, I wouldn't be surprised as well, and I wouldn't be shocked, but it'd be nice to see at least a move that, potentially a move that can bring us down to here, and we can take trades from here up to here, because when we're moving this big here, we have range, right? We have 48 pip range here. So 48 pip, 50 pip range, if we're taking buys from down here, if we're taking buys from here, it's a 40 pip. So we definitely have some room, right? We definitely have some area to take trades here. It's not really a big issue. Better buys on gold above 1847. I do agree with you. Yes, that will be the cleanest buys. That's a bit away though, but yes, it does make sense above 1847. Above this 4-hour resistance is going to be good buys. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think that's very sensible, and that's a good way to look at it. That is a good way to look at it. So yeah, pretty interesting here. I was potentially looking to take this trade here, guys, yesterday. On top of, I wanted to take a long here on the closure here. But then I thought to myself, Harry, is this sensible? Is it a good idea buying the highs? And you have to have discipline in trading. Even though it worked out, my plan worked out, I'm buying the absolute highs, which I didn't agree with, because I know in the past that is what made me lose. So I said to myself, listen, don't buy the highs here. You are doing yourself disfavor here, and it's not going to be a good idea. And I didn't ended up taking that trade, but I'm happy to see that play out. But you have sometimes, if it's a trade that you don't really plan and you don't have confidence in, you don't miss this. I don't consider this trade being missed, because it's not a healthy move. This is not something that can generate me profits consistently in the future. If something can't generate you profit, if something can generate you profits once, that is enough to give you good ego. Once you have that ego and you try do that, you're going to end up messing yourself up long term in the markets, because you're going to take bad profit setups. What I mean by bad profit setups is you're going to be taking setups that force you to take trades that are long term not good for your trading, and you end up making bad profits, and those bad profits later on, you will end up having a really bad losing streak and just end up losing. And then you question why, how come I was profitable and now I'm not? Well, there's your answer. Your answer is because you learnt on bad profits. So you have to take things that you've back tested, works, and you can trust. So what are you guys looking at? What do you guys think will happen with GJ today? Let's see your ideas. What are you guys looking at? What do you think will happen with GJ or gold or any pair that you might be looking at? What do you think is going to happen? Let's see your thought process. Gold for me is a bit dead one. Wish I heard that advice years ago. Yeah, me too, man. You know, it would be very, very useful, but you learn. I mean, I definitely learned making bad mistakes. There was one time on gold, when I used to trade gold, we would just get easy breakouts, move like this. You just buy the highs and it would continue. Buy the highs, it would continue. After buying the highs, I would just keep buying the highs, and it would work for like 2-3 weeks, and I was so confident. All those profits I made, I ended up losing. Why did I end up losing? Because those were bad profits. That's not how it works long term, and it's nothing. It's just something that was working at the time. And that's why you have a setup book, and we have multiple different setups that can adapt, right? Well, it took out the last 4 hour and reacted strong 15-minute candle back in the range. So I see it bought up for now, at least a small tradable pop. Definitely, we can see how we're having mix. People think it will fall. People think it will go up. And I agree with you guys. It's okay to have mix. Based on these two bearish 4 hour candles, we have a resistance. If we have a resistance, it makes sense to go down. But what we can't, these two bearish 4 hour candles are just in basically one bullish 4 hour candle. You can see how we're just not even engulfed two bullish 4 hour candles. So it's a really weak confirmation. This essentially we're ranging. So if we are going to sell off from here, we need to see more structure, maybe get below 163. Why am I saying 163? Because these are where these rejections, and preferably away from this zone here, you know, away from this zone. Below here will probably be easier sells, or if we pop down like this, we create a target and continue down. That is what's going to be easier sells. Just trying to trade breakouts, that's when you're going to get caught in a fake out and lose the trade, right? That's when you're going to get this, and then the next candle, London Open, does this. We go to the top of the range, all of us make 30 pips, 40 pips here, and then it dies off for the rest of the session, and that's it. So that's how it is. Or we can't say. We might just get a breakout and start continuing, right? We can't say. Trading with the trend has helped me a ton, as little as that is. Oh yeah, man, I would tell you, trading with the trend is the most powerful form of trading, and is why I always trade with the trend. You know, I'm not one of these YouTubers who are going to say buys above here, sells below here, because I want to have a bias. Even if it does sell off in that day, it doesn't matter, because I know if we're going to sell from here, I have a lot of room to sell. You know, there's a lot of room. Even below here, there's more room. You don't need to be in the first move, right? And there's how many times, look at this. This is what I want to show you guys. I was showing someone else this as well, right? How many times here you guys were like, okay, 3 bearish 4 hour candles, very similar move, okay? Very similar move. 3 bearish 4 hour candles, sell, sell, sell. That day I was telling you, no sells, no sells. Sells don't make sense. Boom. We get a huge upside move. If you took sells, you were in big trouble here. Breakdown, sell, 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 sell. Boom. Look where we are today. We're buying. We're still going up, right? Everyone up, sell, sell, sell. Nope, we start flying up, you know. After this 2 bearish 4 hour candles here like this, right? Everyone starts saying, oh, we're at resistance. We're coming on a downtrend here. This daily close bullish. Remember the daily close bullish. Oh, we're at resistance. We should make a lower high and continue down bearish to the bottom of the range. What a very, very easy trade here. What ends up happening? Boom, big bullish candle here. Sells didn't make sense. So even if we do sell today, long term, it's not the smartest idea just yet. We need to see specific things on the chart, and the specific things we need to see on the chart is we need to see more bearish structure, because we don't have much bearish structure. All we have is a range. This is just a range, not bearish structure. There's no lower highs and lower lows. There's nothing. On the 1 hour, we have nothing. We have this breakout here in between these wicks, which has done nothing. If this wanted to break down, if I came to the chart and we were here, yeah, maybe we could wait for pullbacks to continue down further, but not. We're still up here, you know, from yesterday. We finished yesterday here, we're here, you know, we've done nothing. So that's what you guys have to consider here, right? I do think GJ will drop maybe that wick low. Yes, definitely possible. For gold, I would look for sells after FOMC minutes because the Fed are hawkish. GJ would look for buys because strong bullish daily candle. Definitely agree. Waiting for the minutes and potentially waiting for CPI as well. CPI as well will definitely have impact on gold. Do I like trading ranges? No, I don't like trading ranges. Ranges are the hardest place to trade, and this is where you lose the most money, is in ranges, because it's a range. But if we have a big range, I don't mind trading it because it's a big range. And essentially, if you look at the monthly, we're trading one very, very big range. This is one big range we are trading. So essentially, we are always trading a range. But a small range like that, I don't want to be trading. A range like this, I don't want to be trading. A range like this, yeah, there's an argument as to why I can trade this, right? Because it's enough pips. If we're looking at the bottom of the range being here, this is a 50 pip range. So I can definitely take a trade, but I need volume, right? And I don't want to trade in the middle of the range. Here is not where you want to trade. If you're looking at a range looks something like this, right? See if I can draw a rectangle here, something like this. So you have section 1 here. I don't think you guys will be able to see that. See if I can draw this here. You have section 1 here like this, right? And then you have section 2 like this of a range. These are your prime zones to trade a range here. Basically, these zones is where you want to be. This even a little bit smaller, something like this. And something like that. You know, these are your prime zones in a range. Anywhere inside this zone here is where you don't want to be really trading. I mean, I would argue this is a little bit bigger. Anywhere from possibly here like this would be alright to trade in a range, or in this specific range. But anywhere in the middle here, you don't really want to be trading because this is the middle of the range. This is where you're going to see most inconsistency, and is most of the time where you're late in the move, right? So you can see here inconsistency. Here was okay, but here inconsistency, late in the move, inconsistency. But if you're trading from in here you already want to be in profit. So if you get any range here, you're already in profit here. Taking sells from the top of the range makes sense because we're in a range, but not after a bullish day, right? Does not make sense. But yeah, that's a little bit of an advanced class on range trading. And that's all the cookies I'm going to give you today on range trading. There is more, like, that's very basic. That's basic looking at how ranges work. That's very, very basic. But there's ways to actually trade from the bottom and top of the range. Morning, Wix. Morning. I appreciate all of you guys showing up. Always good to see you guys in the morning here. Hope you're enjoying my analysis and enjoying the plans we talk about here. And yeah, if you're enjoying this, leave a like. I would always appreciate a like, the normal YouTube business. And yeah, if you're new to the channel and you do like my content, if you don't like it, then don't subscribe, don't like. But if you do like it, maybe you can happen to hit that subscribe, right? If you do. If you don't, it's your choice. Morning, guys, morning. So if anyone's new here to the stream, I want to explain these streams. These streams are pre-session streams, so sometimes we might get trades, sometimes we don't. But the idea of these streams is that the biggest problem with streamers is that they will never show you their biggest trades on stream because they can't. They're too busy streaming, concentrating, talking with chat, blah, 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 blah. Here, I want to give you the plan, a very good advanced plan, a plan that has taken me years to develop, essentially. To build this thought process has taken me years. So I'm going to take you guys through that. We have a plan, and then you guys have to build the confidence. Because it's the biggest problem. You guys just follow streamers. Streamers can easily give a trade like this, right? They'll tell you to buy from here, but they'll run stops down here, 42 pips, 35 pips. No, we don't want a 35 pip stop, you know? And eventually it will go in profit, right? Go check any streamer, gold streamers. always running big stop, 40 pip stops, 35 pip stop. So the idea here is to give you the solid ideas, and then when the stream shuts down, you guys have to take the trades. Build the confidence that we talked about. There's no excuses, because if someone is not there and no one is giving you confidence to take the trade, will you still take the trade? And that's the challenge, right? How do you trade the news, or do you avoid it? I do avoid trading the news. There are sometimes I'm new, show me the money. No problem, I'll show you the money. Give me a sec. Find some money here and I can show you the money. Where do I have any cash somewhere? I don't have cash on me anymore, so I can't show you physical money. Because now people these days don't use cash, right? Yeah, so coming back to news, I basically don't like to trade the news because of the inconsistencies. But sometimes if we get a heavy news move and it's not moving way too fast, like it's not one big candle that's doing something like that or something like this, then I can maybe look for small pullbacks in that news to continue. Show him 1 dirham. I don't even have 1 dirham on me. Cash, I don't even have 1 dirham. I'd have to go to my safe and pull out cash. If I wanted to really show him, I have to go to my safe and pull out cash. But I don't need to do that on stream. There we go. Zulu has shown us the cash. There's the money. You can take it from chat if you would like and enjoy it. So yeah, then after that, the trades are sent in my free groups down below. So I do send those trades that we talked about on stream. So you do get to see it anyways. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask there. When will you do a giveaway? You guys and giveaways, you love giveaways. The problem with giveaways, and this is the only problem I have, is that you only affect one person, right? It only affects one person. So if I can devise a way to maybe do a prize pool where more than one person gets selected. Maybe prize number 1 gets 500, prize number 2 gets 100, prize number 3 gets 50, and all the way down to, I don't know, even something like that would be better. Or to make someone work for a giveaway would be cool, but I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, okay, let me know. You know. Hi, did I miss the plan? I just got here. Looks like GJ and gold are both rating. With gold, we said it's not really too interesting here. A bit tough on gold. With GJ, we are interested in some plans here. And a quick summary is essentially, I should put it on the chart. Maybe something like this, right? That's a bit big. I should start writing the plans maybe. Or I can just speak about them, because then that gets people asking questions, right? So the plan basically I'm looking to do is potential pullbacks into this zone to trade the range in London. Breakouts with heavy volume, but if it breaks out early, I want to see support form to continue. And that's basically it. For sells, I need more structure. I would prefer to see this pullback and we get volume like that, but we'll have to see. Do you ever succeed using oscillators or only price action? I only use price action. Sometimes when I look at Bitcoin, I have oscillators on my chart just to look at it, right? But I mainly trade price action. Like everything, price action tells me everything. Sometimes with Bitcoin, I want to look, but I don't trade Bitcoin. I do invest in it though. Weekly on Bitcoin, let's see what's flipped now. Daily is breaking down here on Bitcoin. We have some Bitcoin traders here in the chat, so that's why I'm having a look at Bitcoin here. That 4-hour close is an interesting close with these wicks. Be very, very careful at these wicks. This is a very strong here kind of block we have here. A lot of orders at this area we can see being picked up, right? Look at the reaction. Look at the reaction. So be very careful trading into there. If we start to get below there, especially below this 23.5, yeah, this can see some heavy downside, but Just be careful selling into these wicks here at the moment. Writing the plan is a very good idea. Yes, I could potentially write the plan after we discuss that. We can do a giveaway. Whoever has the best results in the market within 4 weeks and wins, you know, first, second place. Of dirhams. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's potential, but that's pretty hard to track. That's the only problem with that. I'd rather do something a bit simpler so we can get more people to do it. Please show me how you draw your zones with lines. Yeah, I saw it's a very complicated skill. What I do is I go to the top left here of my trading view. And at the top left of my trading view, there's something called horizontal lines. But even better is I have here trading view tools. And I press the line and put it on the chart. And then I have a line. And that's how I draw my zones and lines. If you want to know how I mark up my charts, which is a different question, right? Then you can have a look at one of my videos on my channel or show up to the stream early to see. I basically mark them from weekly time frame, right? We start on weekly and on daily, and I mark up the zones here based on the different support and resistances. But I have videos on how to mark up my zones, and yeah, you can check that out. Definitely the 2023 Forex course. If someone can link that in the chat, I would appreciate it. The 2023 Forex course, there's a zone marking section in that. Just click on the zone marking section and have a look. Do a giveaway webinars which will cover. Yeah, that could also be an idea. Yeah. Okay, I'll avoid the news. How long after the release does the chart get stable? That always depends on what the news is, but I'd say a safe bet is 15 minutes to 30 minutes after news is okay. 15 to 30 minutes after news, you normally find average should be all right. Should be okay. Yeah, don't write it in chat. Link it in chat. Are you guys not allowed to post links in chat or something? But Zany Z, I was only joking. Don't take it offense. Only jokes, man. There, in that course, if you open that link, you will see exactly how to mark up zones. With that, let's see if I can pull that up. So if you pull that up, we can have a look. Boom. Alright, so you pause the video here if it will load. And you check this out. So if you come down here to the show more, you have the markets, candles and time frames, support and resistance 20 minutes and 18 seconds. Here at 20 minutes and 18 seconds, there is how to mark up the chart. So if you press that, you start here from the beginning and it starts telling you here how to mark up the charts. Basically what relevant zones to mark up. Literally really good information. This is like a crash course. This is literally free course here. Like it tells you basically how to mark it up, what to look for. Start on the weekly time frame, go down to the daily time frame, mark up your support and resistance there. And then this is how I mark up my zones, right? NPG always talking about drink, huh? Shout out. Yes, sir. Alright, 10 seconds for a candle close here. We are rejecting from the bottom of the range. This is the second time we're rejecting. 1 hour closes in 15 minutes here. There's a potential here as a trade to take at the break of this high, essentially, after a bottom wick here. With stop loss below here to target the top of the range. That is going to be a trade option here. But the only problem I have is that we've not seen good volume at this time here, right? So we don't see many good volume pushes at this time, which doesn't give me the confidence for moves. But if you guys like this type of trade, this is definitely an option. Hold a little bit wider stop, 20 pip stop, and you'd have to hold it for a while. But I'm looking for a quick push here. I'm looking for some momentum move, so I rather wait for closer to London Open, right? Hi Ari, I'm new to the channel. Was wondering if you do chart patterns to add confirmations to your trade. No man, no chart patterns, just using pure price action. You don't need, if you start adding random lines and random patterns, it becomes very, very confusing, right? So I'd recommend not to use chart patterns. As a beginner, it's natural to use them, and you know, you have to kind of untrain yourself not to use them because they can conflict some ideas a lot of the time, right? A lot of the time you can conflict some ideas, which is not what you want, right? I'm confused during market due to noise. How to avoid? Noise of what? You have to tell me what noise. Noise from your neighbors. Noise in your house. Candle noise. What type of noise? Clarify your question. Candles. Well, yeah, then don't trade when there's noise. Trade when there's clean candles. Trade in easy zones, right? Look for clean zones to take trades. Like this. Clean zone here, right? Clean zone, clean zone. Look to trade in those zones. Alright, we kind of made like a nipple wick here, and now it's breaking the high. So I expect this at least to continue here to 163.342. There was an option to take a buys from here, as I said, of course, to continue to the top of the range, but you'd have to hold wide stops, and for me, at this time, we've not been seeing many moves, so I don't want to get in this. Minor support and resistance are everywhere. You have to look at the support and resistance on the main time frames, right? 30 minute, 1 hour, 15. Don't worry about the lower time frames. They're not everywhere. And don't worry, just because there's a minor support and resistance does not mean anything. If it's at least 5, 6, 7 pips away from your zone, you can still take a trade. It's okay. Just watch that zone. If nothing happens there, you're okay. Just because there's something on the chart doesn't mean you can't take a trade. There'll always be something on the chart. What makes sense? The structure, the way candles are closing, the way candles forming. If that all makes sense, then you can still continue to trade, right? Also, if you guys are taking these trades and you post them on Instagram and have like a journal, a trading journal on Instagram, feel free to tag me. I always like to see you guys do work, and I like to see if you gained any information, or if you want to post a stream on Insta, always appreciate that. GP looks bullish over JPY. Is it good for long net swing? It's a bit late for the swing trade now. You are right, it does look bullish, but it's a bit late for the swing. I think if you were to take a swing trade, you would either have taken it in this zone here around 159 to 158, or after this weekly close here. After this weekly close, you would have looked for a swing trade, maybe after this daily bullish candle close, somewhere in here. Now it's a little bit late for the swing trade as we're at highs. You would need potential pullbacks back to 162 to look for support to tap back to these highs and potentially continue up to 166 or 164 or something. But for now, it's a little bit late for that. On GJ, can we consider the move now as a break and retest of Asian lows on the 1 hour? Well, Asian lows would not be on the 1 hour, but... Oh, I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying here. Technically, that's Asian low. Yeah, it could be for sure if I was to mark it, but we haven't seen a rejection, so it basically will decide what it does here. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes, it can mean, but we need to... Personally, for me, I want to see us get out of this range for sells. I'm not too interested in sells just yet. Do I take a trade or end up holding for days, or do I ever hold a trade more than a day? Yes, I do actually. And I do hold trades when I see we have big enough range, right? It just depends on what my plan is and what I'm happy with for that week, because I'm trading for myself, so I trade for what makes me happy. I don't really care what other people think. I don't care if someone is making $20,000. I don't care if someone's making $100,000. You know, if I make $1,000, maybe I just want to close that, right? I'm happy to take that. If I make $10,000, I'm, you know, happy to close that as well. It doesn't really matter for me, right? It's basically what I feel will be most beneficial, you know? I don't want to see $3,000 in front of me and say, oh, you know what? If I held this trade, it would be much better, because if I held this trade, I could post on Instagram that I made 10,000. I don't do it for the gram, right? Don't do it for the gram, do it for the fam. That's how it is, you know? Do you enter a trade when an engulfing candle closes or before it closes? I enter a trade on candle closures. I trade personal funds. Yes, I do trade personal funds. I'm not funded. And before you ask why am I not funded, because I don't agree with all of their business models and it reduces stress. The more I can reduce stress in the markets, the better I can trade. Trading is a stressful job. No matter what people tell you, you have to be relaxed in trading. Trading, you have to be calm. It just doesn't happen. Be realistic. We are humans. We all have emotions. The more you push yourself to get better, the more you increase risk, the more you challenge yourself, you are going to induce stress. So don't let people online tell you, you have to be calm. Yeah, you have to be calm and collective, but don't let people online tell you that you want to be stress-free in trading. That does not exist. You will not be stress-free in trading. So do what you can to reduce stress in your trading, because that'll allow you to trade better. That's how it works, right? That's what people don't understand about trading. Just spilled my water everywhere. Very good. Like a child. And that's why these sessions are important. Because if I'm busy here giving signals with 50 pip stop losses on the signals and 30 pip stop losses, you guys are not going to be able to ask these questions and learn. And it's stressful for me to manage two things. So that's why I designed these streams in a very specific way. And it's something new. People are not doing this. Right? People are not doing these pre-session streams, planning, giving you guys the plan, and you guys execute on the trade. I think this week I'll make a video about these streams because it's the most asked question. Maybe a vlog or something like that. Do I adjust my higher time frame zone on lower time frame? That's a good question. I like that question. Yes, I do. If a higher time frame zone, let's say my 4 hour, let me show you an example here. Let's say my 4 hour support was here. That was my 4 hour support, right? This was my 4 hour support here. I would simply say, okay, that's not really too relevant. I rather move it to here, so it makes sense, because I know anyways if I was to take sells, I'll take sells below here. So I rather move my support down here to where I'll actually trade, right? Not here, because I know here I'm not going to be taking a trade. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be taking a trade here, so that's where I'll move my support. So yes, I move it marginally, not massively, right? Don't move it super massively, I move it marginally. If you guys new to this stream, we do these streams regularly, so definitely consider subscribing so you know when I do stream and can join up. The goal is, we just started this stream. We're trying to get this stream to 100 viewers. The people who ended up joining the stream very early, they know that goal, and that's our goal. So we're trying to do that. Some days we get close to there, but we're not close at the moment. But I appreciate all of you guys showing up, because I'm always grateful. If I can get a quality amount of viewers rather than a quantity, I prefer that. And I also prefer to try help people, right? And if I help a small group of people, it's better than helping no one. And I also benefit. So people ask me, oh, okay, what's your benefit in these streams? Well, my benefit is I come talk about my plan that I'm about to trade. So I build my plan, I make it solid, I discuss it with you guys, and all I'm doing is basically what I would do in the morning. I do it in front of an audience. So that's what I benefit from this. And also, at the end of the day, I can go back and look at what I said in the morning. What have I said in the morning? Did I say I'm looking for buys? Did I say I'm looking for sells? I can watch back and see what my idea was and what happened. It's very useful. I do not trade patterns. No, I do not trade patterns. I trade candle closures. So if I see candle closures, that is going to be more important than seeing M on the chart or W's on the chart. A W is a double support, so it's good, right? It gives you confidence in the trade. But sometimes that doesn't happen, and if you wait for that, it'll be a big issue. How many trades do I normally do on a month? I like the way you talk very straight to the point. Yes, you have to talk straight to the point. You have to be very confident and execute on your ideas. And think before you speak. Very important to think about what you speak. So you see, I answered another question. And while I'm answering another question, I'm thinking about the question, what the guy said above, of how many trades I take per month. Right? I would say on average, I take, if we were to average it, 4 trades a week. 4 trades a week on average. So per month. How many weeks in a month? So 4 times 4. It's going to be around 16. 16 trades. 16 to 20 trades, I'll say. How old am I? I am young. 12 years old. Not a teenager yet. No, I'm joking. I'm not 12. I'm not 12. I'm not 12. I'm in my 20s. I'm in my 20s. He's old enough to trade. Yeah, just old enough to trade. Yes, I am old enough to trade. "12 excluded days." In trading, yes, because there's weekends. Weekends are 2 days off. That's how it is. Sometimes, listen, if we have heavy volume, there's some months I might take like 40 trades. There's no issues if we have 40 trades, you know. But if the markets are like, you know, yesterday, if the markets are moving like yesterday, then one trade is enough. I'm happy to take this one trade and then I'm not buying highs, you know. But sometimes if we're getting continuation pullback, I'm going to be all over that. I'll take maybe, but my rules is maximum 3 trades a day. So I won't take more than three trades a day. But sometimes, please tell us how you scale in more positions. That's a very complicated thing to do. I need volume for that. Once I do that when the markets start moving heavy. I'll scale into positions. I might make a video where I record myself in a live trade with my terminal, and so I'll record myself with the terminal, and if I do scale in positions in that, I'll post that video just so you guys can see how that is. But that's a bit complicated. You guys need to worry about that way later. Do I read philosophy books? No, I haven't read philosophy books. I do read books. I have books right here. I do enjoy reading books. I do read mostly like books on, yeah, I would say they're philosophical. Yeah, you could put that. But yeah, let me know if you guys would like if I was to record myself in one of a live trade with my terminal. I might do one of those. I think those are very educational. So I'd probably post one of those. Just leave the camera on while trading. Loss or win, can post it. Maybe record eventually one loss and maybe one win. Problem is, this camera I'm using now, after like 2 hours, overheats. So if I just leave the camera running, it overheats and then just shuts down on me. Your top 3 Forex books. Don't waste your time reading Forex books. They're not going to make you a profitable trader. They'll help with your trading, but they won't make you a profitable trader. So if it's not going to make you a profitable trader, what's the point of reading a book? I do not use trend lines. No, I don't use trend lines. I'd say a very popular book is Trading in the Zone, right? By Mark Douglas. Everyone talks about that. So we're trying to break up here. This is why I didn't want to trade that breakout here, because there's no volume now. But we're basically doing a whole lot of nothing. 1 hour close below the range. Current 1 hour, no bottom wick. Very dangerous. Why is it very dangerous? Because most 1 hour candles do make a bottom wick here. So if most candles do make a bottom wick, then we could expect one. How many years before have you been trading, and how many years before you came consistently profitable? I like this question. Consistently profitable. There are people there who will claim that they're profitable. Yeah, everyone can make profits for a month, but consistent profits, I would say that took me 2.5 years for consistent profits. How can I get the book? I think in our Discord, if you look at our Discord, someone shared a link there. You trade full-time. Trading is not a full-time job. I trade one session. You don't need to be full-time to trade, right? If you're trading one session, you're trading 4 hours in a day, right? There's no real use to trading. You're not basically full-time, if that makes sense, right? But yes, I do trade my session. So it would be. What do I think about GJ? Is it a sell or buy? I think it's a crab market at the moment. I'd prefer to buy it based on the previous daily candle. I think selling is too early, but I would have preferred to see this breakdown, change structure, and then continue up here. Buying on these candles here is very, very risky, especially into the zone. And the 1 hour now has no bottom wick. So I expect it and would like to see it make a bottom wick. You only trade 2 pairs and why? Alright, you'd answer me this question. Are you profitable on 1 pair? If you're not even profitable on 1 pair, how can you entertain trading 3 pairs? And first of all, if I have a set risk limit, right? And this is the last question I'm going to answer before we wrap this up. If I have a risk limit of $1,000, right? $1,000 per day. That's my risk limit here, right? $1,000 per day. If I have a risk limit of $1,000 per day and I'm trading 4 pairs, what if I have perfect setups in 2 pairs or 3 pairs? 2 to 3 pairs have perfect setup that day. That means I have to split my risk into, like, you know, 300 basically, 325 or 300 and whatever, something like that. So that means I can only put $300 per risk in a trade. And let's say 2 of those lose out of 3. So I've lost 600 to make 600. So out of all of that work, I've basically made nothing. But if you trade 1 pair and concentrate on that 1 pair, if my risk for the day is $1,000, I put $1,000 on that pair. If I win $2,000. Right? Instead of causing myself a headache trying to trade 3 pairs, I now have $2,000 from just looking at 1 pair. You guys understand that math? That is very, very important math. So yeah, here's my plan, guys, before we wrap up the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Alright, so the plan here is pullbacks down to the bottom of the range, potential fake outs in the bottom of the range to trade to the top of the range, or heavy breakouts with support to continue up. As always, I'm going to keep you guys notified in the group. Be sure to join the group so you can see the trades we take, and make sure that you guys do take the trade based on the plan I made in the stream, and you have to build the confidence to take the trades. Hope you guys learned something new. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next stream. And yeah, show up, make sure you subscribe so we can see you here. It would be a pleasure to have you. As always, guys, take care, trade sharp, and until next time, peace.